Hello and welcome. My name is Merely Adequate, and I have an easy one for you today. A mini game timer, counting up or counting down. How about we take a look at it? It looks a tiny bit complicated because it's all crammed together, but basically all you do is you put in however many items you want to use to count here. You trigger this piston on top here. It'll count 8 seconds. Or actually, 8 items, 8 seconds. And then it pushes and it stops. If you want it to just count down, then you can remove a couple pieces, and then you would just need to trigger this bottom one on your own with whatever your finish line or whatever is that's stopping your game. Let's actually build this together. We're gonna start by building a simple repeater clock. So we'll put down blocks in a T shape as if we're building a golem. Just like that, but then we break the middle block, okay? Then we're gonna have a repeater facing this direction, and we're gonna set it to its maximum ticks. By doing that, that'll allow it to tick once every second. If your server has a whole lot of lag on it, that may be not the best, and you may need to shorten that tick time, but for most servers or individual plays, that will get you 1 second per tick. Then we're gonna put a redstone torch against the block like that. We're gonna put a piece of dust on the ground like that, and that should get your timer going. We're gonna leave it going for now, and we're going to add on the next part, which is going to be the dropper facing this direction with a chest right there, okay? Then we're going to have a comparator going out of it, great, with a block here, there. All right, we're gonna switch around to the back side. We're gonna put a torch on that lower one, and then we're going to put a block right there. Next, we're going to put a couple pieces of dust right there like that, and that should stop your clock. Now to get it going, we're going to need a piston right there, and then a redstone block right there, okay? Then we're gonna need a temporary block there, and a temporary block there. Break the bottom temporary block, and put a piston facing down. You can break the top temporary block, and that is basically it. Unless you want to trigger this manually, then you can put a button right there. And that is it. Now you see that it's kind of locked right here. It won't do anything, and that's because there's nothing inside your starter dropper right there. As soon as you place however many items, you can put stacks and stacks in here, whatever you want to do, but as soon as you place some things in there, it frees it up and allows it to be able to go. And then as soon as you hit the button, your clock back there will tick 8 times because I had 8 items inside. And then when it's done, this will read that it's empty and it'll turn it off and you're done. Now that's for counting down. That's if you want to, only go, say, 30 seconds. So you put 30 items in here, and when it's done, it stops the timer and it's over. If you want to count up, let's say you have a racetrack and you want to see how long it takes to go around it. What you can do is put definitely more items in here. You want plenty, that would be more than enough time. And then we can actually get rid of the comparator and that block and torch behind. Because what we're going to do is trigger things manually or however you wish. So we will start it by activating this top piston, and it's going. And it's running, and you're running around the track, and it's counting. And then whenever you get to your finish line or whatever it is, you will activate this bottom piston, and that'll stop it. And then you'll know that was 13 seconds long, and that's what it takes. Now, you'll kind of need to come up with your own method. Let me grab that torch. That was bothering me. You'll need your own method on how to trigger this. You can use pressure plates with redstone dust, or trip wires, or levers, or buttons, or all kinds of things that can make these go. But the way it is when you start, you'll need to trigger the top, and when you end, you need to trigger the bottom. Now, to make this more user-friendly for you, I'm going to build one more thing for you. I'm going to separate all the pieces so that if you want to separate your starting switch and your countdown timer and everything and have them in different places on your course, you can do that. just like before, we're going to start with the timer, with the repeater timer. Here we go. This goes in there. Set it on full ticks. Put the redstone torch down there. Oopsie, I need a little bit of dust. Grab some dust from over here. That's great. Okay, and that'll get the timer going. Then we're actually going to go to the end first. Let's say we want to run this signal way over here so that our actual items, where we're counting things, are. So let's go ahead, let's just stick this there. Okay, and that there. Perfect. And we are going to count down. So let's go ahead and put this here with a solid block behind it and a torch. Oh man, let me go grab a torch right here. There. Okay. Then we need to run this signal all the way back to wherever we choose to have it start from. Let's say it's way over here. We want to have a starting mechanism. Okay. So we will have the piston. We can put it on the ground instead of going up or down. There. With a block. And a piston facing this direction. Great. And then this signal will need to come all the way over to here. And somehow it needs to get up into this block. So you can just do something simple like this. And that shuts that off. And there we go. It's all separated into its pieces. So if we go ahead and come over here and we fill this full of blocks, it frees up that right there. And then if we grab ourselves a button and stick it here, we can start it going. And there we are. It's off and running. You'll see that it's counting down. There we go. And then whenever that gets empty, it'll trigger this and stop it, and it'll be all done. So there you are. There's how it is, all spread out into its pieces. So as you're building your game or whatever it is you're needing, you know that you can kind of stick these wherever you want and still achieve the goal of creating a good timer. Okay, that's it. Short and sweet. If you found this useful, please consider leaving a like and maybe even subscribing to the channel. That would be great. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you found it adequate.